afternoon, everyone. Today we have a very interesting topic to bring to you. And what happened is this week I met a restaurant client, and we were talking about how the restaurant is not making it for this and that reason. Then we also talked about how to make the price works for the restaurant so it can continue to operate. So we come up with this idea of giving you tips on price increase for our small business owners. So let's get going. This is our website, as always. If you don't know me and the first time you hear me talking, and you understand that you can come to communitycpa.com and to actually search our company out, see who we are, right? And our company in general, I always tell people that, we're a number of people. So we think of our own company in numbers. We have more than 12,000 clients. We have 48 professionals in our firm and 29 years of service. And we also speak 12 different languages collectively out of our 48 people. And we have 6 branches and 6 partners. Then, of course, in terms of numbers, I have 3 years experience serving at National Taxpayer Advocacy Panel, which is a federal advisory committee to IRS. I wrote 2 books, which I will show you. And I also, as our firm, if we say the number 1 being the smallest number, is actually the biggest number for us because we have just this one goal for ourselves to serve our small businesses with our heart and soul. That's our only one goal. And that's why we give you everything on our YouTube channel. So for you to digest, to learn, to take advantage of, so you can be ahead of the game. And this is our YouTube channel, right? So this is where you're going to find all of our webinars that you are looking for. So make sure that you tap into that. So this is our YouTube channel, and you want to make sure that you check on it to search our videos. Then this is the 2 books that I already written. So one book is How to Start Up a Business. The other one is Growing Your Business. I know in today's environment, so there's so many things are changing, but the content of the book don't change because even though there's so much changes on the tariff tax, OBBA Act, and so we got all these things going on, but the fundamentals don't change. And these books that when I wrote, I used the real people experience, real people story, so you can relate if you are one of those small business startups. And no responsibility disclaimer. This is just to say that it's a free webinar, right? All of our YouTube channel is free. So you can dig out anything you wanted, learn from it, but make sure you verify, what you know, and making sure that when you deploy anything we suggested here, and you engage your professional folks that you know, and to do that. Don't just do it blindly. All right. Now, let's talk about price increase. So is raising price really worth the risk, right? So, I have my client literally said these words: it will get rid of all my clients. So that's how they felt they cannot raise the price. You are not alone, right? This is number 1 fear for our small business owners. Many small business owners panic at the idea of raising price because as soon as we do that, everyone gonna walk away. I will have a 0 client coming in. It is a exaggerated fear. Let me just kind of explain to you, tear the onions for you so you can see the reasons why your businesses even exist. Your business don't exist if you didn't have a market. If you have already run your business for so many 10 years, like Community CPA, we're here for 29 years already. So that itself already stated one thing: the market needs you. The market needs you regardless That is what the reality, telling those businesses, small businesses, when you are running this line of business for so long, that approve of a market. So reality check. On my slide, I said that some clients might leave, but the question is, would you rather keep all your clients while slowly losing money and keep fewer clients, but actually stay profitable, sustainable? Slowly losing money is not the end of it. Slowly losing money means burnout. You just gonna lose your mental capacity will say to you that you cannot do this. You lose money. You know how much of our action is related to psychology? And you think as a business owner, we can just work hard without getting paid? No. We are the one need to be cared first. That's really the truth. I know it speaks like almost like you're selfish, right? But some of you are not, and all of you are not. You know, when you started the business and you thought of the needs of others, and your mission in life is to delight others. So I know you are not selfish. I know you are not there for yourself. But I also know you have the love for your kids, your family, your spouse, and you need to make a living, right? With that kind of thinking, the reality is, if you burn your money, you will burn yourself. If you burn yourself, you will lose the business. That's just what it is, right? Shifting the mindset from the fear to strategy, to literally think coolly, what exactly can I do to not only raise price, but also make my customer happy? Do you think you can do that? Absolutely. This is why we are here today, to talk about mechanical ways of raising price, but human ways of delighting your customer. So, this economy in front of us is very different. Very different from the past recession, from the past 2008, that in our lifetime, and we experienced it. When the bank and turning upside down, when the federal government come out to bail them out, and it is sort of the drama out there, and we don't feel, right? Small business, we didn't feel. I have my clients who are small business owners come out, didn't even know what's going on. They felt like they're just fine. But this time, the economic meltdown we are experiencing is grassroots. It is at you, me, and your neighbor's level. It is everybody's bank account. It is everybody's bottom line. And if you say that, oh, Ying, I am still okay, look at your retirement account. It's going to be cut. So the loss is there. The meltdown is true. But how you continue, I will say to you that if you are a business owner today, you don't have your business, you shut it down right now, you're going to be worse going forward. I do not want any of our business to close, because that's the only outlet. When you have a pressure at home, your business is the only outlet to release the pressure. What I'm saying is, when you don't have money at home, you're struggling, the business is the only outlet for you to still operating, make a little, or just get that busy day going so your mental don't break down. You think you're going to have a good life without a business, stay at home, smoking pipe and, just drinking clean water? No, it doesn't work for you that way. If you are a business owner, you close your business, you got nothing to do, you're going downhill, it's guaranteed. Guaranteed. And there's no free money out there either. Okay? So with that kind of grassroots problematic issue we have, then it is really you need to adjust it. Nobody else. That's why I am talking to you, because I know each one of you have a solution in your hand. Okay? So obviously we know the cost for doing business is going up. Supplies, rent, utility, you name it. What did not go up? What did not go up? Everything going up, right? Inflation. Even if you're still buying and your dollar worth less than it was, from your mouth all the way to your foot, it is everything we are experiencing. Okay? I am not trying to say that, well, Ying, you are just so negative and don't talk like that. No, I am a very realistic person. Price rising, things go up, that is economy. That is just what it is. There is no good, bad, or what else. It is reality. Let's just respect the reality. And obviously, you're not in the White House, and you're not the senators and the Congress people, so you don't make the law. And you receive the law, right? As much as we have voting right, but we are just one ticket. So the people who are actually making the rules are the one need to be much more aware, much more sophisticated in economy. Maybe they are. What do we know, right? And let's just not even go there, but let's just focus on ourselves. Labor cost go up. With labor disappearing from the market, and you know what I'm talking about. So labor cost is going up. When there is a shortage of labor, there will be a demand increase on how much the working labor wanting to get paid. It's a natural economic trend. It's not your employee giving you a hard time. No, if you don't pay them more, they go somewhere else, right? So that's just so, for business people, folks, let's just look at our numbers and not to get any ounce of emotions into our calculation. No need for that. And we just focus on what's going to work. So we know cost increase. We know labor increase. We know our profit margin is shrinking. And we also know that our cash flow is an issue. Because if we short of cash flow, we go to the lender. But do you know that the lender is also tidying up? They don't want to lend. Yes, that is reality. So with these kind of environment, folks, for small business is a real squeeze. The squeeze you feel that on your skin because it hurts, right? Of course, reality is reality. And that's why we are humans, right? We know how to work with the reality when that comes. So if you keep your selling price the same, it is literally equals to the risk of closure of your business. Didn't I say that if you are a business owner, the last thing I want you to do is to close your business? You might close the one that is not successful, but I need you to have another one going on, because this is the only way to keep your spirit up, keep your lifestyle similar, and keep you going. Once the storm passes, nothing lasts forever, folks. Second World War didn't last forever. Recession, depression didn't last forever. So nothing lasts forever, and you want to work your way through becoming the one that successful in the good time. Hy-Vee grocery store. Do you know when Hy-Vee started? In the recession time back in 1932. In the heat of recession, everyone have nothing, no money. They opened up a 1,500 square footage little retail space. And they said that we are best at customer service. They didn't say they're best at their price. Look at Hy-Vee today. They ride from 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s till today. They have a good ride. They are successful. Right? So this is the way the business people should work with the business, right? How to understand your business market value. Every time that question pops up, small business owners, you think about, oh, what is my business worth? I'm not exactly asking that. I'm asking, how badly does the market need you in today's situation? Are you a luxury item? Are you a necessity? Are you a must-have? Right? If you're a luxury item, right now you're facing this economic meltdown, I would say that your challenge is much bigger than the one who sell necessity. But a lot of our small business owners, we are not in luxury side of business. Maybe you can say that, well, nail shop isn't a luxury. And, maybe you say the haircut is in the luxury. No. Those nail shop and the haircut, because of your unit price, is at a smaller scale. So the luxury is affordable luxury. So for some people, it's necessity. Just understand the difference between the luxury. And I'm pretty sure Coach is experiencing sales going down because there's nobody has money to buy a $10,000 bag right now. I wouldn't say nobody, but a lot of people don't have. They used to have. They don't have it today. Right? So these are the things I want to have you understand thinking about your own business. So if I think of a restaurant, I think that is a necessity. You may say that, no, Ying, people can cook. They go to a YouTube channel, they learn how to cook. How long does that last? In terms of lifestyle in United States of America, people goes out to eat. So that's necessity. Grocery store, necessity. Tax filing place, accountant, necessity. Law firm, necessity. So all of these things, and you want to understand your market value. So now you say, okay, I have a value on the market. I am needed. Your business existence on the market is a value by itself. That grows over time just because you existed for longer. If a grocery store existed for 30 years already, it's not gonna go down, become zero today. No. It might make less money, but it will still be there. Right? And staying competitive in your market, in many small business minds, means a low price. Oh yeah, I want to be competitive. I'm going to, lower my price. Compete with Walmart. Don't even try that. You're not competing with Walmart. You're not even comparable. You're so little, they're so big, right? They're going to have the lowest price just as they said. You should allow them. And as a small business, we sell specialties. So we sell that Asian item nobody sees anywhere. And we give the services in our native language. And we do a little bit help. When people come out of the door, we push the cart for them. And we take our cart back. We do little things. Or New Year's is coming up. We give them a little blessing card that nobody else is doing. We do little things. We do our things. That is not comparable to Walmart. That trying to sell low price, that is long gone. 10, 15 years, this period already took that out. If you still trying to be the lowest price, your business knowledge is at least 10 years behind time. You, as a business owner, you need to update your knowledge. The competitive focal point is on convenience and the customer service. Okay, that is what I want you to keep in mind. Now, how to understand your customer's perception and mindset, right? You have a set of customers who always come to you, and you may claim that I already know, okay? Customer, of course, care about the price, but at the same time, your customer's mindset has already been trained. Over pandemic time, every citizen, every living soul in United States of America or even outside of our country has already been trained for price increase. Are they surprised at the increase? No. Maybe during the pandemic time, you still hear your customers saying, "Oh, you increased your price," but now what do you hear? Very seldomly, right? So they're already trained, but they also care more about other things: customer service, reliability, and consistency, right? Quality of product and services. That is also very important. So you can see that, yes, the price, of course, is nice to have it lower, but is that a determined factor for your customer to not come to you? It is absolutely not. If you use that as an excuse, you're saying that, "Oh, my business went down because I raised my price." That is your excuse. It is not the reality. The reality is that you raised your price, either wasn't raised properly, or you raised your price, but you went down also on other things. You might raise your price and your customer service is also not good. Or your customer service stayed the same. They only see you raising price, they don't see anything else. So those are the things you have to think about. Okay? Just think about your favorite coffee shop. You may not go there every day, but when you go, do you really care about what they charge you on the coffee shop? You did not. You cared about that experience. Maybe that experience is you be able to sit on the table, have a nice conversation with somebody else, and just have a nice meeting. Maybe that is your value in that place. Or maybe the value in that place is that you go to the coffee shop, they write something silly on the cup for you. I don't always even like what they wrote, but it's okay. That's their customer service. Okay? All right. So the loyal customers, they will stay with you as long as they see your value. Okay? I hope the past slides kind of already give you an idea of how not to be fearful when you come to price increase. Now, let's talk about how to determine a reasonable price. I just have all kind of rings coming in. I apologize. Okay, so how to determine a reasonable price increase? The step number 1, review cost, profit margin. Know what you are short on making it work. You know how to do that. So you look at your monthly financial statement and you have your sales, then you subtract all your expenses, you come up with a loss or profit. If every month at the end of the month you come up with a loss, you know you're not making it. And you may say that, "Well, I've been trying to put in my own money to run it." You know that doesn't last very long. So you want to identify how much you're short. You can use the past 12 months. So right now we're in September, right? It is a very good time to look at your price. And let me tell you why. Because the economic meltdown started in the past 12 months. So you want to look at your September 1st of last year all the way to right now and add them up so they're a year, right? Like right there, a year number divided by 12. So you got your average profit and loss. If it is a loss, you know how much you lose, right? So I will work a model with you, but I want you to understand that you need to know what's your bottom line. But maybe you're still making money, but you used to make $50,000 a month profit, but now become $5,000 profit. So you are actually short of $45,000, right? The $50,000 profit maybe is your necessity. Maybe you need that money to do whatever you need to do at home, right? So you know what you need. So maybe you say that, okay, I can make less. If I can just make $20,000 net profit to supply my household, I'm good. And then you are $5,000 negative. That just means that you need to come up with the difference. right? So you need a $25,000 profit to figure out, to $20,000 profit to figure out. So you need to raise your price somehow to make the $25,000 from the top. So I'll show you the model, but I want you to know that this is your step number one, to know what you need, basically. Okay? So you may debate yourself, need more, need less, but for right now, let's stick with less because we want to survive. We don't care making so much money, we just want to survive. So give your minimum increase you have to do. So minimum amount that I have to cover up. If you go to other business consultation places, people will tell you that, oh, benchmark competitor's price. That is I want to say the BS word, but no. You don't care about competitor right now. As our small business, everybody is our competitor. But you cannot open up your ears, start picking up these noises because they interfere with your decision. You are you. You're already in business for so long. You know the market. You know your market. So you just need to identify a unique customer service item. I say that because I'm getting you ready for raising the price. So the unique customer service item doesn't need to be earth-shattering. Doesn't. It can be something as simple as putting a silly things on the cup. And look at Starbucks. They raised their price. But they put in my cup today as a yum. It's not yum. Their drink is just okay. They have a value I value because I can order ahead of time. Then I go pick it up. It takes the minimum time for me to have a cup of coffee, even shorter time than me making it. That is the value. So I didn't really watch their price. I actually don't even know what they charge me because I know they raised so much price already. So that is their special customer service item. So in your business, what do you do? Think it. For example, one restaurant I know, the special item they have is that when you go in, they give you a warm towel. Which restaurant do you go? Unless you go to those 5-star expensive restaurant, you don't get that. But in an ordinary restaurant, because the owner knows that if they sanitate their towels all the time, it will be clean. And the customer would really love it to have this warm towel just clean up their hands. And the towel smells so clean. It has the clean smell. Small things, right? Small things. Then, community CPA is a service place. Community CPA has a unique customer service item. And this is the one. You are in it. We offer free, do-it-yourself channel. And we tell our customer that if price you cannot afford, go for free service. Here you go. We give you. You do it. Only come to us. When you need help, we help you. And we're professionals. We do really good work. And people out there know it. We're here for almost 30 years. People know. So find your unique customer service item. And use Community CPA's formula to work out for you. I will show that right to you right now. So there is a formula you follow to raise your price. When you do that, the price raise is reasonable. It is objective. It is not close your eyes and throw a dart in the board and don't know where you land. Or you raise the price, you don't even know whether you're going to cover your expense or not. So let's take a look at what example I gave you. So modeling a restaurant price, okay? So this is a Excel. And let me explain to you what's on here. They don't look pretty, but if you like, you can email Catherine at communitycpa.com and we'll email this to you. So that will give you some ideas. So look at this. This is a 1 month restaurant sales. All the restaurant owners can relate this, and they make more. I'm just using a number to give you a clear thought so you can carry out. So this restaurant sales 100,000, and of course they have sales tax, they have tips, but these are not related to the boss's sale. So in your restaurant financial statement, you should see these items being listed separately. If you have a financial statement from your accountant, these 3 items were not there, then you need to ask, because you have to precisely, target your price increase. If you combine them, it gives you a wrong message. Sales tax is not your revenue. You're a trustee. You are holding that money and give to the state government. Tips is not your revenue. That is to your employee who works on the tip kind of service. So this restaurant has $100,000 coming from sales. Then I want you to see their cost of goods sold, payroll, rent, others. So total expense, $152,000. So my client don't make it. They lose $52,000 a month. These kind of things, you as a business owner, you know how to do it. And you can even close your eyes and write out this number. So you know that what your need is $52,000. If you're going to run your restaurant the same, add some customer approach to it, you need to rate $52,000. So let's look at my other items. So this section, you see right here, this is what they are doing related to this 100,000. So this 100,000 is coming from $35 items, $30 items, $20 item, $10 item, $5 item. So I'm simplifying your menu, right? So these are, you may say that, I have a lot, listed a lot. Put it in there. Items sold, you can find that in your POS system. Yes, everyone can. I have not met any clients who are in restaurant business don't have a POS system. And I also have not seen any POS system don't give you that number of sales per item. You have it. So in my example, 1,240 times was sold on the $35. 1,050 times sold to the $30. 830 times sold to the $20. $500 sold to the $10. 700 times sold to the $5. So with that, it is my 100,000 sales. Now, as a business owner, you can see which one is the most popular item. So you go, oh, my $35 is really good. So in here, there are 2 thoughts I would have. Number 1, do I need to create an item that is more expensive than $35? There's a lot of businesses are doing that. They're creating a more expensive item so they can generate additional sales. And they can even leave the rest of the item the same. If that is not the case, then you look at the alternative. So now we know that to break even, we have to have this much sales. Am I right? We have to have $152,000 sales. How do I come up with that? So I am looking at the new price. So this whole section, I am looking at the new price. So the same item, the 35, I'm going to raise by $4. $30, I'm going to raise by 35 to $5 more. $5 more, $5 more, and $5 more. Okay? But you know that I use my judgment to decide whether this $39 should be $40. So I said, oh, no, my biggest sale, I don't want customer to be so shocked. So I want that to be less than $5 average I increased. So I put 39. And you notice that I also created a new item. I created a $40 item, which is about the same as the first one. And then I kept the selling item number to be the same because I assume, sure, I will lose some customer, but I will also gain some customer because I have a new item. When they come in, they will do something different and they will order. So I made everything the same. I budgeted 800 times sell for the new item. So that gives me this 152,000 just covered my expenses. So now the increase of your restaurant doesn't seem to be so unknown, right? So you feel more kind of settled. You felt like you know what you're doing. And you know what you're doing with your business is the only benchmark you're going to have for your business. Don't look at competitors because they may go down tomorrow. Yeah, you may have someone tell you that, well, I'm going to beat your price. You know, I even have the accounting service, tax service people in one of our area, and would reference all their price on community CPA's price. They will say that will be 30% cheaper than whatever community CPA is offering. So did they grow to be a size of community CPA, or they're actually shrinking back down? The latter is what they are right now. So it is not good to look at any other competitors because there is not your story. You're telling your own story to the universe. The universe will hear you. You will be okay. So you want to convince yourself that this raise is needed because all of these costs you have here, folks, those are not something you control. And your payroll is so out of line. 10 years ago, I tell my restaurant folks that this 50,000 is so overspent. It's supposed to be 1/3 of the 100,000. So the payroll should really only be 33,000 to be normal. Look at what you are doing right now. But can you help with that? No. That just means that the market is changing. So your strategy in your work need to change. So this is the pricing model and I want you to see. So I hope that it give you a turn on one of your light bulbs if you have many. Our business owners are so smart. So I give one example. They came up with many. So that would be what you would want to do. All right. So with that, let's go back to our presentation. So this is our example for restaurant. You got what I'm saying, right? So of course, pricing model depends on your industry. So let's talk about retail. So adjusting price by 8 to 10% or flat rate changes, that's the most used method today. Okay? And a tiered pricing those are just normal industry the retail industry are doing. So of course they have a tiered pricing because some of those are domestically coming in without tariff tax impact. Then those are the one easy to list the price and giving discount and sales all the time. But the one coming overseas and with tariff tax, those are the ones you don't want that item to go through discount and you want to reflect on tariff tax. This is what Amazon is doing. Amazon actually listing tariff tax separately, right? You already see Tmall is doing that. So when you purchase anything, they give you a price on the tariff tax. You know why people do that? They do that so client, the purchaser, do not automatically think that it is you increase the price. Yes, it is you increase the price. You put that price out. But the mindset is giving that blame, if you call it blame, to the tariff tax. So that's why the White House seeing that as a political action. But it is actually a business decision. Just very much like right now, a lot of retails are charging credit card fees, right? 3%, 4%. They charge that transaction fees. Why is that? Because that's their cost. And they want you to see it so you don't blame it on their dishes being too expensive. They're just covering their cost. That's a business mind works with customer mind. It is not a political decision. It is a business decision. Tariff tax is being listed separately. That's absolutely a business decision. So with that said, on retail, and you can do this kind of increase, you can work the model I give you by looking at how you sell. Really understand what is your item that people buy. If most of your purchase is coming from rice, let's say in the grocery store, but the rice is actually imported, now $20 a bag need to be $28. It's just a lot of cost. Then you couldn't afford to just raise it $28 because you're worried about the customer who use food stamp, they lost their food stamp, they don't even have money to buy it. And you are serving that specific communities only. Then what I would recommend you to not change the rice price, but adding tariff tax on it. You still raise your price, but you switch the mindset away from you to the third party responsibility. Just, if you go to Canada, they have PST, GST. After you purchase, they have so many T's. It's all taxes. So, in your world, you could have sales tax, and the food doesn't have sales tax, but you can have an item called tariff tax to add that in. So that would help you. And in the service industry like that, you would need to adjust your hourly rate, right? Because your labors are so expensive. And you want to look at who are your customer. And the one who comes to do highlight of their hairs. Maybe those are the ones with more stable income, with more need. So highlight is their necessity. So those are the customer, you have room to raise the price. But the one who come in for a $30 cut, if you raise that, maybe they're just the kind of people that couldn't afford. Otherwise, they're gonna grow their long hairs, even though they don't like it. But what the heck? So I save dollars, So you want to look at your customer and adjusting your service packaging, and maybe provide a minimum service fee to make sure that everyone meet the minimum, right? Add the premium means that for anything special, add more. Maybe you never did hair treatment to have them sitting in a warm towel to get their hairs moisturized more, and provide that service. Add some dollars. What that cost you? Some chemicals and a warm towel, or even those warm helmet machine. And those machines, you can purchase them under $500. So those are the things you can do. Professional service, absolutely. And you can work with your customer and see value. Right now, with, in tax world, we got more work to do because the OBBB come out in July. There's so much work going back. We need to go back January to July to redo a lot of things because tips are tax-free to a certain degree, and overtime is tax-free to a certain degree. So how are you going to come up with that if client never catch it from January to July? So there's more work out there. So the new work come out, you're going to have the new price. This is where you're going to work your price model more. If you are in the hospitality service, you want to relook at your menu. Okay? Look at was selling the most, like our restaurant. Know that is your ticket. People come for that. Then raise that, right? And come up with surcharge. Your credit card, if you don't charge service fee on credit card, right now, that's what everybody is doing, charging fees on credit card. All right? And then what about your running subscription service, like your teaching, tuition fees and all that? You know how to adjust that. Manufacturing, that's the most challenging. You want to redo your cost analysis and figure out who is your buyer and figure out where your parts come from and do a total revamp of how you are communicating with your customer. Okay? Charge more on rush job. Maybe you never do that. Now your labor is short. If you have a rush job, you literally have to hire laborers with high price. Then do a rush job charges, right? So these are things you're going to come through, seeing, feeling, and doing. Communicating the increase is important. Be transparent and honest. And I know you already got trained over COVID and you're like, what can I do? Everybody raising their price. So you already did that. But I want that communication be more visible, be more candid. And you don't need to overshare your financials. Oh, look at my profit and loss, and I lose that much money, so I can do that. You don't need to cry about your losses. That is not even business for the customer. Customers don't need to know how much money you lose. Customers just need to know that you are not burned out, so you provide very shitty customer service. You want your spirit high. You want your passion still there. You need your business to be successful in your own eyes. Okay? Focus on value. Highlight quality, highlight service, highlight new benefit. Frame the conversation around customer gains. Don't say, oh, I have to increase my price because I'm losing money. That's not a customer view. That's your view. And what you want to do is you want to tell the client that we brought new services in and we had more experienced people working and your job will be done better. And the product I got for you is from different resources because they do better. Even though the price is higher, but it's a good quality. So the underlying saying is, that's why you got charged more. Or this is the only place I can get that item. And we have tariff tax. This is something you understand. I don't have control of. And here you go. Customer understand. We all pay tariff tax. Okay? Give advance notice if possible. If your fee is changing, and starting from January, and we'll raise our fee by a little bit, and we want customer to know, or you don't have to. It is optional. It is optional. And if you don't, of course, if your item is small, you really don't need to give advance notice. But if your item is big, you're producing something $1.5 million. Next year, you're going to sell for $2.5 because of the cost surge. You need to tell your customer, you need to advertise saying that starting from this date, the item will be $2.5. If you book it right now, it can still be booked and for $1.5 with that much discount. So boost up your sales. Hopefully, the quantity will make up the difference on pricing. Okay? Use confident language. Confident language. Okay? Expressing confidence. The only way you have that confidence is for you to feel that you're doing it scientifically. You are doing it with calculation. You're not just pulling out of your head and today I feel like to raise price. No. You don't feel like to raise price ever. And your mathematical calculation suggests, your business suggests raise price is necessary. All right? All right. So, the last point I have on here is say offer options, bundles, royalty perks. You know how to do that. Give, some local coffee shop give you a card if you buy 5 times, 10 times, then your next one is free. Those are perks. And the Starbucks also have that. So they make you earn the stars so you can get a little discount. So those are perks, right? So you can develop something like that going forward. Now, key takeaways. Price increase are necessary for survival. Just know that. And it is not because you're so stressed out, you're in tears, and you emotionally need to raise the price. You objectively know how your business is going. You need to raise the price. Data and the strategy equal to confidence in price decision. Yes, data, calculation, mathematics. All right? Customer stays when they see value. And please don't let AI do your pricing. AI modeling is almost, using AI is like you hire a person to work for you, but that person was brought up by certain culture and certain parents. Think of it this way. If in reality you cannot work with certain people, that means AI, without you knowing it, probably brought up by those people. So if you ask questions to them, have them do your price adjustment, you load your menu into AI, you say, help me raise my price. They will do it wrong because they are not you. I can guarantee you that. So make sure don't use sophisticated technology to do your price increase. Just do your data calculation, use our modeling. You already understand how to use our modeling. Customer stays when they see value. Customer's value is not about how much your company worth. Customer's value is not about the price tag. Customer value is something outside of the price tag. The price tag might raise the expectation, but you can meet it with customer service. Doing nothing is riskier than raising price today. Okay? Review your pricing regularly. Just quit doing paper menu. Just start turning everything into digital. Change price as you go. Selling your customer service. Selling your name of the market share. So not the price. Temporarily move your focus from the price to something else. Schedule a consultation with our firm. We can help you raise your price. The way we do it, we're modeling it. And we look at your history, we understand what you do, and we come up with a price. And we are so good with small businesses. Trust me, I understand your business. In fact, today, after this talk, I go into 2 restaurants. And I'm going to come up with not only pricing change, and also compliance on payroll, and also how to make sure that they're in compliance with Department of Labor as well. Everything. So we need to do it right. Do it right for us to last, folks. Okay? Now, this is our website page on the appointments. You can select any one of us to have a paid consultation service. Okay, each one of us has a price tag in here, and you can click and see what you like to do. And we, obviously, we give you the best answer you can get. And we have never disappointed anyone. We always say that if we didn't answer your question, we can refund you. And so far, for the past 5 years, I have never ever refunded anyone because our answer is that great. All right, here. This is our last slide. I just want you to know our website again, communitycpa.com. And you can email Catherine at communitycpa.com to get that modeling Excel I have if you need it. Okay? And then our phone number. We open 6 days a week, like today is Saturday. And we are open every Saturday all year round. So you can call at this time on Saturday, 8:30 to 5:30, and someone will pick up your call. It's not a machine. So as much as machine is available, we do not want our customer to be greeted with a robot. We want you to see us as a human, and we feel for you. We do things for you. All right? I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.